to the Influence Factory podcast. This program is dedicated to support professionals who have a desire to develop their digital business influence so they can navigate through a fast-paced, constantly growing digital world. We invite newcomers as well as our family of business influencers to a place to play, share ideas, questions, tips, and guidance with other thought leaders around the globe. Sit back and enjoy our program with our host Dean Delisle as he interviews guests. News and commentary is provided by Kate Hassett and Jackson Delisle. Power Move lessons are provided by the Influencer Marketing Department at Social Jack. And production, editing, and distribution is provided by the Social Jack production team.
3 proven ways to increase your visibility on LinkedIn. So first on the list to increase visibility on LinkedIn is optimize your LinkedIn introduction card. That is the top part of your profile. So this is the stuff that we talk about all the time, your cover photo, your headline, your profile picture. Make sure those are up to date, packed full of your keywords, and that your cover graphic has it pops, makes the page pop, because otherwise all pages look the same if you don't have a cover photo.
Yeah. Hey, Kate, do you ever call it an introduction card? We've done thousands and thousands of trainings.
No, I never have, but I honestly don't hate that because we always say LinkedIn is like a networking event. So like your LinkedIn profile is kind of like your business card. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Your first conversation. Yeah, we say the profile is your first conversation. Mm-hmm. And we always say, make sure you do a checkup from the neck up, so that's like above the fold. So check that profile photo, cover image, and all that cool stuff. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, so basically the article really talks about, you want your prospects to be able to find you. So ways to do that are, talking about the LinkedIn introduction card, ways to optimize that in order to get you higher up in search results is have your primary keywords that you want to be found for in your headline. And then as well as, having a profile picture that's recognizable and up to date. That way people can recognize, oh yeah, I know that person, I've met them, and connect to you, and they'll be able to recognize you in person. So don't put a picture from 20 years ago.
Or even 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just think it's so interesting how people with LinkedIn, don't really realize that there's SEO possibilities in their LinkedIn, in their bio, in their headline, in their profiles. You want to put in the keywords that you want to be searched for, just like you would on your website, because LinkedIn essentially is your website. And the biggest killer, and I'm glad they pointed it out, is the headline for me, because how many people do you see just have their default headline to their job title? And it's like, well, that doesn't tell me anything about you, how you help people, what you do. And nobody's really looking, well, I won't say nobody, but, a lot of people aren't really looking at just the job title. They want to know, the unique things that you offer, the services, the keywords, like what you want to be found for. That's what they know before they connect with you.
Yeah, one thing that's really wonky with LinkedIn, so watch out for this, folks, is that when you update your employment, your experience, what happens is there's a little box that says update your headline. And so many people forget about unchecking this box. It wipes out their headline. And then to Kate's point, it just shows that current job title. Yeah. So you definitely don't want to do that. So.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. So this article spends the bulk of it talking about that LinkedIn introduction card, which, again, we've never heard it referenced to as that before, but we don't hate it.
But we're willing to change. We
are willing to change. The LinkedIn cover image, which we talk about, you can use Canva for, certain things that'll give you templates on how to do it. And those templates will get, they're very, they pop, they draw attention, and that's what you want people to draw attention, something to keep them on your profile, something to keep them from clicking away to your profile. I think was it last week or the week before, Dean talked about turning off your people also viewed section of your profile. So
I have another secret hot tip.
What is it?
I just tested it. Kate, you probably know this. So, you know how we always tell you before you upload an image or picture of yourself anywhere on the internet, put your name in there, like name the picture your name, but also put some of your keywords in the name of the picture. And now what's really poppin', as Jackson is using that term, is putting your top hashtags in the picture name. Hashtags poppin'.
Because you said that was Jackson's term, pop.
No.
Well, he said pop 3 times, so I just figured.
Yeah, I said the colors, and like have a graphic that pops, but I didn't use the word popping. It's okay. We don't have to spend too much
Awesome.
time.
So another way to include SEO in your profile, like Dean just said, is to use those naming conventions. And I wanted, since we're giving pro tips, I wanted to give one more LinkedIn headline pro tip. If you want to use special characters to make your headline pop, or maybe you just ran out of characters in your headline. Another pro tip is that if you go on LinkedIn and edit your headline on your phone, you get a few extra characters. So if I'm on LinkedIn editing a client's headline and it's just a couple characters too long, I'll always switch over to the app, and then you get, I think, 10 extra characters, which can make a really big deal. So anyway, throw that out there.
You actually get 100 extra characters or 80 extra characters.
It's 80?
I counted them. Yeah, 80.
No.
So anyway,
don't be obnoxious though. Some of them look pretty ridiculous. So just go easy on yourself. And if you update your headline on desktop, sorry, Jackson, I know we're hijacking.
No, that's okay.
But if you go in and even edit any part of that profile on your desktop, it will wipe them out. So make sure you save them if you jump to that extra 80.
Yeah. Moving on from that, the second way to increase visibility on LinkedIn is sharing regular status updates and posting LinkedIn publisher articles. So, yeah, I know, crazy, right? So
wait, you mean like showing up and stuff?
Showing up and
if you want people to look at your content, you have to put out content.
I know,
you gotta put out. That's what we say. So
yeah, we're just gonna graze right past that one. And posting regularly on LinkedIn is going to keep you in their newsfeed, in your First Connections newsfeed. So make sure to be posting regularly throughout the week, and you'll be able to. You'll be at the top of their mind once they're looking for someone who does what you do. And then third and finally, as we wrap up the news update, is engage with your network. Engagement is key and is a good thing to remember across all social media platforms. So like LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Engagement is, whether it's you engaging with them or them engaging with you, engagement is going to be the thing that drives you to the top. It's going to, increase the visibility of posts, sharing, commenting, liking. I mean, not liking as much. So commenting and sharing and adding to the conversation and not just acknowledging it, that it happened, like with a like. I feel like that's the big differentiation between the two. So make sure to, be posting and engaging with your network, and then replying to comments on posts. The more activity that certain posts get, the more visibility that post is going to get overall. And then another thing to remember is that people can only find you if you're in their first, second, or third degree networks, or if you guys both belong to the same group. Another way is that if someone shares something outside of your network, then you will go and be visible to their network as well. So, but that would have to happen first. So.
Right. And Kate, we do this, your whole department does this on behalf of our clients and us all the time. But I think a lot of people miss is that they think it's all about engaging with their own posts, but you really should be going into others' networks that are targeted to do that as well. And that works for Instagram and all the other platforms too.
Yeah, without a doubt. I compare social media to an 8th grade middle school dance all the time. Sometimes you want somebody to play with you, to start the dance on the dance floor, to comment on your stuff. You have to start it. So if you are trying to target someone on LinkedIn, have a conversation with them, whether it's a potential client or a business partner or whatever it is, go comment on their post, because they're definitely going to return the favor. And I just also want to say that A lot of people are kind of scared to jump in on LinkedIn, even though it's been around for years and years and years. Still scared to put out content or engage with people that they have never met before. I've just found that LinkedIn is one of the most welcoming. It's not Instagram. People aren't going to troll you. I mean, not that it doesn't happen, but people really aren't going to troll you on your posts the way they do on other social platforms. LinkedIn is a community of thought leaders who want to share and collaborate. So if you're scared a little bit to jump in, I think you should just try it. Put out some content, engage with others, optimize your profile. This is a great place to start.
Yeah. And I actually wrote a whole chapter on that in the book about getting on the dance floor, but I didn't wait till 8th grade. You waited till 8th grade? I was like dancing, I think, in 6th grade or 5th grade.
I just pulled a grade level. I don't know.
No matter when you decide to dance, all that matters is that you decided to dance.
Dance. Get out there and start the dance floor.
That being said, thank you for tuning in for this week's segment of the Influencer News Update. Please make sure to engage with us on social and let us know if you want to hear certain types of articles. If you want to listen to this after the fact, you can watch the recording on YouTube or listen to it on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, Spotify, and CastBox. So make sure to check in on that. And the show notes will be in the Resource Center on Social Jack later today. And we will see you next week.
Thank you for listening to the Influence Factory podcast. We welcome feedback and suggestions. You can provide these by visiting our website at www.myinfluencefactory.com. And if you are interested in Social Jack's 90 Days to Influence program, you can simply go to 90daystobusinessinfluence.com and simply ask for the next steps. While our program airs regularly on Zoom webcasts and Facebook Live on Wednesdays at noon Central, we invite you to download episodes on your favorite channel: YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, and who knows where else in the future. We will also provide occasional on-location live streams with special guests that we will announce in our community Facebook group, Business Influencer Alliance, as well as on all Social Jack channels. Our mission is to help you build your digital business influence with this podcast, as well as inspire, educate, and entertain those who are hungry to collaborate in a cool place with cool business professionals just like you.